Good morning, everyone, and welcome to American Scotchers Morning Coffee or Tea with American Scotcher on a Friday morning where it's guaranteed to be more reckless than the rest of the mornings. How reckless is it? Anan is here on time. Well, not literally on time, like a minute late, but still on time when we go on air. What's happening, Anan?
A minute late is on time for me. So
Not
technically,
for me.
that's
So
on time.
Yeah.
yeah,
we
we
call
always
that
get into
airplane.
this with like the girls. Like I would when I take him to practice or like game. Like you have to be a certain time for a warm up. If it's quarter till, you just got to be there quarter till. And they were always like, no, if you're not like 5 minutes early, you're late. I'm like, no, because then as long as you're there
It's funny
right
because
on
I tell,
time.
I tell my employees if you're 15 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. Then I show up 2 hours late, and they're all looking at me. I'm like, "What the fuck are you looking at?"
Anan looks like Amarim says, by the way, Serzi. There goes the Soboslai look.
Surely it's Ruben and a rim.
I did
And
the whole bus line. You're gonna give me the Amarim? Are you serious?
I think it's a lot more Amarim than
yeah,
Soboslai. I'm
Ruben
sorry.
and Anna
Have a
rim.
good day, guys.
We'll get it right.
And Kavi, after like a long Thursday night show, what's happening?
It was a long Thursday night show. We kind of got into it a little bit, especially towards the end. So no, it was really enjoyable. It was good. It was good chat about the Reds and I think how we should move forward and things like that. So no, it was entertaining. Yeah.
Hey, morning bourbon here, says Kevin God. And then it says their cousins. That's funny. Okay, let's get to a couple of headlines because I know you guys talked about this yesterday as well. I haven't gotten a chance to listen. Like I said, I usually listen to it literally right after when we're done over here. But let's take a look at the first headline over here where David Moyes is going to Everton. It was kind of like I don't know, like happening any second kind of an ordeal, but it does become semi-official. She's saying it in the background over there. Let me add this over here. There he is, juggling in the winds. I guess the bigger question over here is, I mean, I couldn't care less about Everton. I know you care a lot more, Kazi. But what I care about is instead of playing Sean Douche's Everton twice, we'll be playing David Moyes' Everton twice, which I count that as better for us. Kazi, how do you count that?
I don't. I think it's worse for us. Not in terms of because I do think Moyes will offer more going forward. Yes, and I understand what you mean there by opening it up, kind of thing in the game. But Moyes did frustrate Liverpool a lot at Goodison Park for 10 years. I think he only won twice there. I think when he was the manager in 10 years, or maybe 3 times. So we don't
We
have.
had better teams, though. To be fair,
Yeah, but there's also we are also in a transfer window with a new owner coming in. The debt's being wiped off. Everything can spend a little bit of money, and you get 2 or 3 signings, and then who knows, kind of thing. So, in terms of going back to Everton, no, I think this is actually a clever signing in terms of it's only a 2-year deal. I mentioned this last night on the Thursday show. There's going to be a lot of managers available after. Hi, Mill. My daughter's just walking in.
Hey, how's it going?
Here she
Probably
is.
knows more. Can you guys switch seats?
Knows more than that anyway. She's on time. So, but yeah, it's for David Moyes, at least it's a 2-year deal. And you have Pochettino available in 2 years. Thomas Tuchel available in 2 years. And the other good manager I can't think of who's in the World Cup team right now, who's available in 2 years. Who's managing?
The champs.
Nagelsmann, who could be available. So with Everton, basically with a new owner, new stadium, 2 years of David Moyes securing your Premier League, then kicking on with a new owner, I think it could be a really good, bit of business for them.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad move for them in terms of the person they got. I know there was a lot of talk about Mourinho. And I know, I mean, now that Mourinho is in Fenerbahce, I was kind of getting like both sides of it because Mourinho did open the door like a month, 2 months ago or so. But I don't know. He's always asked these questions, and he answered the question basically saying, "Yeah, I'd be interested in that. Sick of this top of the league stress kind of bullshit." But that's Mourinho being Mourinho. So that was really the only other serious name thrown out there on. So this definitely seems a lot more that's a smarter move in short term and probably long term if it works out.
Well, and a lot of the talk was that Moyes is going back to West Ham. Actually, that's what everybody was talking about. It was like, oh,
there was rumors. I read a lot of that. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we had no rumors that Deitch might be leaving. Matter of fact, everybody's like, wow, Everton has improved over the last month or so. And then boom, we wake up and then okay, Deitch is gone, and apparently he's the one that told Everton, this is the most I can do with this team, so just fire me. He just went in there, like, just do it. And he got the sack. Yeah. I guess Moyes back to Everton was always a thing to look out for, and it's happening. And I do believe they will be a more goal-threatening threat now, like a goal-scoring threat, better than when they were under Deitch. But I also think this is an Everton team that isn't good enough to do much. So it's not I should worry more or worry less. It's just a matter of, is the team going to pick up and do what Moyes wants them to do? That's where it falls. And at this point, I don't think this team's capable. I think he needs a real striker. Calvert-Lewin is just not working out. I think there's a lot that needs to happen to Everton for them to be a threat. And as of now, Moyes or not, I just don't see a big difference.
Kim says, when is the rematch versus Toffees? Wasn't it sometime in February?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And then Sergio says Mourinho said what he did because he didn't want to deal with UFA number. Yes, that was part of it. He was talking about how rigged it is, and if he takes a mid to lower level team, he wouldn't have to be in European competitions. But then I know he constantly talks about he's really fucking with the Turkish media. I personally love it because they deserve everything that's coming to them, the Turkish media.
He really hates Galatasaray, if you really think about it.
What I really wanted him was to expose the scams that happens in Turkey. And, you needed a high-profile manager to come in and do it. He wasn't doing it in the beginning. He was kind of like, I think he thought I can beat the system kind of thing. The system is rigged pretty hard politically and stuff like that. So it's getting close to beating one of those Saudi teams in Saudi Arabia. So I think now that he is so much more vocal now. So hopefully it'll get some more.
His rant a couple of days ago about the referees. I have never seen a manager go at a referee, organization like that. Just how he went on, and just on and on and on. And he basically said, very indirectly, Galatasaray get everything they want. They own the referees, and nobody else gets anything. And this is skandal. And he said it in Turkish. He's like, skandal. Yeah. And it was like, that's so.
Yeah, he's great with the media, man.
Mourinho speaking Turkish was not on my bingo card for the year.
But yeah, I kind of like, I like the fact that he stayed in Fenerbahce. They didn't want him like bailing on us too soon. And I still do think the David Moyes thing. My thing, Kazi, was, we would do better, at least in the short term, against a team that's not defending as heavily as Sean Dyche's teams, because obviously we do struggle with that. It would have been I was counting this game as a 0-0, the one we have on hand, because it's tough to win over there, and I expected it to be like a 0-0 draw. That's, Pickford spends 50 minutes on the ground.
There's a part though, gents, where don't be surprised what confidence from a manager can do to players as well. Like Everton, I've got players who can, have got Endai, who's a good little player, looks tardy on the ball. Calvert-Lewin only has 6 months left on his contract, so that's going to be interesting to see what they do this window with him. Brozier limped off yesterday, injured in the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
And then Beto is trying to go back to Torino, I think, in Italy. So Everton do have big issues, and I understand that. I just think what confidence can do to teams is...
I'm hoping that wears out by the time they meet us in February.
Yeah, maybe. I just think, and also they go and sign 2 or 3 clever little bits of business. If you're looking, for example, at Chelsea, you can go back to Chelsea and try and pick up Dewsbury Hall on a loan, or because there's players out there that are available that you can go and get on loan, which would really improve them massively. So I think in 2 years, Everton could be a serious prospect. I don't mean to challenge them.
Oh, yeah. Did they do the move now to get his kind of players in January instead of douche kind of players in January?
That's what I'm
like
saying.
The timing of it.
This is what I'm saying. Now, Everton now, you sit down, say you're the chief exec, and you sit down with a player and you go, we've got this new stadium, new owners, we're all going this way, new manager, new way of playing and all that. It actually looks like an exciting...
New socks, though.
But that's the selling point in it, you know what I mean? But I think the 2-year deal for Moyes is really clever by Everton, because those managers will be available after the World Cup. I think you're going to see a lot of clubs waiting for those managers at the World Cup to say, "What's your plans?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is this your last tournament? Like, is Pochettino staying on for the US, or is he just coming in for the US World Cup because it's a big thing? Yeah, again, Tuchel and the Champs is interesting, but Nagelsmann especially. I just think there's managers out there. If you just do a little 2-year stopgap, and then you can sit down with a Pochettino and go, "We've seen what you built at Spurs. Here's a new stadium. Here's new money with Everton. Do you know what I mean? Can you do the same again?" It looks like an exciting prospect, or something that a manager can get the teeth into. So doing Moyes for 2 years, just a safe pair of hands, keep you middle of the road. I don't mean fighting relegation and being 11th, 12th, 11th, maybe a Conference League spot on a really good season. And then a Pochettino comes in, Everton could be a serious prospect.
Yeah, I mean, especially for Pochettino, I almost take his project as similar to like Mourinho. These guys can walk away from this saying, "Yeah, there was no fucking way. That thing is really jacked up over there," and not really affect their career or how they're seen and stuff like that. They're going into situations that are kind of not working out, so they can just walk away from it and say, "Yeah, there's nothing anybody can do with that," and then just like walk away with nothing, and then come to a Premier League. I think it was like a smart move on his part. Sergi says, "I hear what you're saying, but Moyes is going to." Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think Moyes is going to attract players. I think the fact that there's a new ownership is the biggest change, probably, because you could have said in the past, I mean, attacking players, you probably not. Dyche is not. I would love to play for Dyche as a center back because I get all the help in the world. Everybody's just there defending with me, as opposed to playing like a high line or something like that. But not as an attacking player. You're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna be defending.
I appreciate he says he's coming there as well, because I look at, for example, like someone like Liam Delap. If Ipswich go down, if he goes to Everton, he could be a killer at Everton. He scored 8 or 9 goals already this season. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's players out there, especially in those teams who, like Harry Winks, for example, could come in from Leicester. I'm just talking about relegated clubs, by the way. I'm not talking, anyone else. But there's really good top-level players now who get relegated, who go down.
Yeah, but there's something to be said about getting a team established out of all relegated guys. It's a good way to get relegated back again with them. I know what you mean in terms of getting up.
We signed Robertson, Gini Wijnaldum, Shaqiri.
But he signed but they came into a good team.
Of course, but what I'm saying, but they're good players still. Of course,
I get that, but
I'm talking about in the summer. I'm not talking right now. Of course, you can't get those players right now, but I'm talking in the summer. If he just keeps them up, and you can go and get like a Liam Delap in, or like a Harry Winks, and then go and add 2 or 3 more, I think they could cook a nice little outfit. You know what I mean?
I would think he would. I mean, I would think he would keep him up as well. By the way, if you're watching us right now live on YouTube, do me a huge favor. As I find out and learn more about this, those thumbs up really, really help a lot, especially for those watching us live right now, because then some other bozo who just woke up, grabbed coffee, gets to see us at the same time, because they're like, these guys really liked it. There must be something to this. And they'd be dead wrong. Okay, let's go to this over here. Looking at the standings now. I don't think they get relegated. I didn't think they were going to get relegated before this, Anand, just because I felt like Shandush knows how to get single points from games, and then he would kind of accumulate them and they would stay up. Who do you see going? I mean, aside from Southampton, who's a lock, and your boy Rude is really having a good streak over there, as we can see.
Yeah, it honestly feels like the teams getting relegated have already been set. It feels like it's set in stone. I just don't see a way up for Southampton. I don't see Leicester coming back and doing anything worth it. And Ipswich, again, they'll give you a good performance, but it stops there. I'm happy they got a win at Chelsea, but I just don't see that a team's staying up. Wolves have seemed to get their shit together. Palace are hit and miss. West Ham should now get their shit together because they got Graham Potter, which, absolutely not even close to as good as Lopetegui, but I'm not even going to go there. I think everybody stays where they are. The bottom 3 will stay the bottom 3.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, Wolves. The difference between Wolves and Everton probably, Kazi, is Wolves is a better team. I mean, they have a lot better players, I think, overall than, especially attacking wise. I mean, they can, and I think if you look at the numbers, you can see they get the goals. They just stopped they couldn't stop conceding goals compared to Everton. But I mean, Everton has scored 15 goals. That's pretty pathetic, by the way. But yeah, I mean, you can see Wolves can get goals. I mean, does Ipswich is the only team I consider, can they beat out Everton and stay up?
Yes, because they have Liam Delap, which is goals.
And they just loaned the dude from Villa, the kid from Villa. I think he went there from Hull City, the winger.
So, I mean, listen, I don't expect Everton now to go down. I think if Wolves keep hold of Kuna, it could be big in this window. Ipswich is interesting, you know. I really like Ipswich. And
I do too. And like I think if it was Sean Dyche, I would be oddly, I don't know why, but if it was Sean Dyche, I would say I would be a bit more confident saying Everton will find a way to stay up.
I have a thing about teams, gents, right? When you don't get beat heavily. And I always think about that when you're down there. Do you get whacked?
Yeah.
Because if you get whacked, you're not in games of football. Ipswich, when they lose like 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. You know, they're always in the game up until like the last 5, or let's say, and the game gets taken away. And I think about that with teams a lot. Southampton are dead and buried because you get whacked every week. So you're not very good. So Leicester are probably dead and buried because you get whacked every week. Like Leicester are getting whacked. They concede too many shots / goals. So that's why I think Ipswich could do it, you know. I don't know at the expense of. What they're going to make is Wolves and Everton say you've got to get 36 points at least. Do you know what I mean? It could be one of those ones. They might go down, but they'll get 35, 34. For example, I think it was last year when Everton beat Bournemouth on the last day, Everton stayed up with 32 points. It won't be like that. I think it's been like 36, 37, because I really like Ipswich. That's the difference, I think. So Ipswich still might go down, but they might go down with a really nice points total. Because you used to always have that thing when we were growing up, gents, of the magic 40-point mark. That was always the thing. It's been getting lower and lower the last 5 years.
Yes.
Stay up. It might be closer to 40 points now to stay up because of Ipswich, because they keep you honest in games. And also, they beat Chelsea, they beat Spurs. They can throw a shot against a good side in there for you as well. When you go, oh, that's a lock for them. And then Ipswich will go there and beat them.
I'm almost glad that we're not going away to these places towards the end of the season.
I mentioned this last night on the 30 show. Timing of fixtures is so important.
Yeah.
I do not want to go to Portman Road now. We went there the first day when they didn't know what they was.
That's what I mean. Like them, even like Everton and stuff, when they're like the last couple of weeks, I think it was last year or the year before, it was like a really tough place to go to and stuff like that. So I heard John called it a Farmers League. Yes, he did, and he's still getting shit for it. Okay, let's get to my favorite time of year where we get stupid rumors and maybe real rumors. Let's go over here.
Real.
So, okay, first of all, if it's from Egyptian media, based on what happened with Marmoush, we don't want those sources.
No. So
longer,
two things. This is something I called for 2 months ago in the show. I went and screen recorded it yesterday just so I can post it when we sign him, but it's okay. Also, Marmoush could have, should have, would have happened if we tried. We had 0 attempts, but also nobody thought City would go for him at this point.
Well, then we got Darwin Núñez. We don't need a Marmoush.
Yeah,
we got Darwin Núñez, fella. We got your guy.
He jumped off.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Very different players, but also if we sign Kabachaba, we need Darwin Núñez because that's the kind of player you want playing with Darwin Núñez.
Absolutely not.
Salah on the right, Kava on the left, Núñez in the middle. At 2.
Honestly, you say that. Give me one reason why it would be so much better with this dude on the left compared to Gakpo or Diaz. Like, what will Núñez do differently?
Because this is a guy that goes on the left, cuts in, and crosses the ball. This is how Núñez played at Benfica. He had 2 wingers that relied on crossing the ball to him all game long.
Okay, we don't play like that.
We will when we sign him. We will when we sign him.
And then Darwin Núñez.
We will when we sign him.
Darwin Núñez will not be a Liverpool player this time next year.
Especially if this dude is coming.
No, Darwin Núñez will not be a Liverpool player come August. We're not even waiting till this time. I want the money.
He might be going to Napoli as a part of the make weight here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that would make the most sense.
Well, I guess here's the thing.
In all seriousness,
I've been like practicing his name this morning.
Let's break this down with this Kvaratskhelia a bit, right? It looks like it's real interest, and I understand it. Everyone goes, we plays on the left-hand side, we have 2 left-hand players. I can see a Sadio Mane, the lapper in here. I mentioned this last night on the Thursday show. And what I mean by that is Liverpool signed Luis Diaz in January. Didn't look like we need them. Just play Sadio Mane down the middle for 6 months. Nearly win all 4, then fuck him off. I've got a feeling we might be doing that with Luis Diaz. Because he doesn't trust Jota's body. I don't think the manager can stand Darwin Núñez. And I just think he might just do Kvaratskhelia, Diaz and Salah. Go, that'll get me to the end of the season. Then I'm a fucking Diaz off and sign a proper number 9. I actually can see that happening.
Yeah, and it seems like Diaz has already got his mind elsewhere. So we're making the move that'll get us going for next year.
This is a part of the conversation I had yesterday on the Thursday show about because I've always been a Diaz doubter, to be honest, in terms of his output. He gets too many chances and doesn't take enough. Now, I know what you're going to say. He scored 8 goals in the Premier League this season. Pretty good.
Yeah.
He's only scored in 5 games because he's had a couple of doubles. So he scored in 5 games.
Yeah, early in the season, he had a couple of games. And then he was silent. I remember even talking about it. Yeah, and then the moment we talked about it, he scored that week.
I said to you, he hasn't scored in 10 in the league, and you were dumbfounded by this. And I was like, he hasn't.
Yeah.
It caused the Bayer Leverkusen froze that doubt in you, because it was before, like a couple of weeks before or whatever. But anyway, Cody Gakpo's only scored 6 in the league, but he scored in 6 games. And I always think about that. Like, you're contributing in games that are close games as well for us. He's getting us a point of Fulham and a point last week against United. And I just think with Diaz, you get too many chances and too many opportunities not to be hitting 15 to 20 in his Liverpool side. And I think that's what this team will do. And this what Michael Edwards, if he is the statistician we all think he is, will also think what I'm thinking a little bit of, like, Diaz is 27, Kvaratskhelia is 23.
23.
If you can go and get 50 or 60 for Diaz and then do Kvaratskhelia for 70, let's say £70 million, I'm talking about euros, within the same ballpark, you know what I mean? And then you get a player who's 4 years younger, who might have a better output. So that's what I can see anyway. I'm a Diaz doubter, but I always have been.
You know, we're getting his buddy from Georgia in goal too. So there you go.
I mean, we got Marmalade in goal. We're gonna have we have really the 2 best Georgian players on that national team. If you really think about
that's good for your resume. Like, we have the 2 best Georgian players.
Well, there's out of 11, there's only 2 good ones, so we have the 2 best ones.
If we sign that left back from Bournemouth, we got the 2 best Hungarian ones.
And then that's what I was gonna get to. And then if we sign Kirkus, we got the 2 best Hungarian players ever. So at this point, who's stopping us? Everybody that beat Hungary and Georgia.
Yeah. Dang.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How does Diaz show he has minutes also? He's playing his best season for us. I think, here's the thing with Diaz. He's playing in the middle. I guess let's talk about this. Is he playing in the middle because, one, Jota can't stay healthy and Núñez is, Núñez? Or is it because Gakpo is so good on the left and we want Diaz in there somehow, so he's the one who shifted to the left? Which one is it? Is it to make room for Gakpo? Or is it because we need somebody in the middle and Gakpo doesn't like the middle?
Well, it's kind of good when it's both. You've got an injured Jota, you've got a Darwin who's lacking confidence and doing nothing, and you happen to have a Gakpo who's been having the best outcome for us. I mean, he has been killing. So for a Gakpo this time last year, everybody was like, we just signed him. Is he a striker? Is he a left winger? Is this the right guy? Yeah. To now, he has to be on the left. So it gives you a little bit of both. And then you also don't want to take minutes away from Diaz because he's shown more than Núñez. And, Jota's been out for a few months. So, it's a little bit of both.
I don't think he can trust Jota's body. I don't think he can stand down Núñez. I think if he could get him out the door as quick as he can, he would. Yeah. I genuinely think that elbow thing that he did against United might be his final straw of a big game that he gets minutes in. Because let's get it right, he could be sent off there for something ridiculously stupid. Yeah. He should have been sent off. VAR to give us one. Like, that is a sending off all day.
Oh, I don't know about that. It could have been, though. Like, if he showed the red, like, VAR is not overturning it either.
I'm sorry, mate. If that happened to a Liverpool player, we'd be absolutely livid. He's looked at him for about 7 seconds. He hasn't even done it, like, inconspicuously. It's absolutely.
The thing I didn't understand about that is I can understand somebody doing that. I think we're talking about this with Mateo Shorgordo or John, maybe like midweek. I can understand somebody doing that, like, all game. That guy has gotten on your nerves, and you're trying to get a hit. He had just come on. Like, there's no built up like frustration. Just go for the goddamn ball.
And he offered nothing anyway when he had the ball. And off the ball, he offered nothing in that game. But that we can't. I just don't think the manager fancies Nunes at all. I think he wants him out. And I think he can trust Diaz, and to get the best out of Gakpo to go to Diaz, you're going to have to swallow this a little bit. Like I said, Mane, you're going to have to swallow playing centre mid because you can't run anymore. And Diaz came like a bolt of lightning basically and played left wing. So I think there's a part where Cody Gakpo scored 4 in his last 5 in the league, which is big. What I want out my left winger, okay, that's ridiculous. But I think left wingers playing for Liverpool Football Club with the opportunities we get, we should be scoring 15 to 20 goals in the league, in my opinion. But again, Gakpo's forced his hand as well because that's how well Gakpo's played.
But I think he had that performances in Euro, right, where he showed that's where he should be. And then I honestly think he works better with Mo, which is weird to say because it's the guy on the other side of the field. But I think he understands and Mo understands when to. There's some better passing going in between them. Like he makes that back post run for Mo to create that. And he understands that Mo can get the ball there and stuff like that. So I think there is that for one. And with Nunez, this manager seems a lot more. That's kind of like an insult on club. So I don't want to mean that by that, but like tactically sound or very tactically specific. Like he wants things done in a certain way. I feel like the only thing we did like that in the past was more the press. That's, we wanted that press done in a certain way. So a new guy would come in, not play for 2 months. I think throughout the game, based on where the ball is at, like he wants intelligent players to be able to adapt tactically. So this Nunez is, he brings chaos thing does not work because he is not where he's supposed to be. He's not making the runs he's supposed to. Like people see him in a corner flag clearing the ball, but then there's nobody to clear the fucking ball to because you're the guy who's supposed to be there. You didn't have to track back there, and you track him back, get somebody else out of position. People don't understand that. Yeah, that's great hustle on paper, but that's not tactically sound. And he's your boy, Anand. I know you're trying to abandon now, but. To me, it feels like I agree with Kazi. I think he gets frustrated and can't stand him because we all said, give him a couple of seasons and stuff like that. And Nunez is not getting it because I don't think he's that intelligent of a player. And Slot does not want chaos.
Yeah, it seems like initially Slot said he wants to work with him and he wants to, get him going, but his system just doesn't suit Nunez. Nunez wants that free running. He wants that, that the headless chicken style, that as we called it, chaos. Slot wants organized chaos. He wants everything in a certain way. He wants, just like everybody in the group yesterday was like, why are we playing so bad well against Spurs? And I was watching. We were playing exactly how he wants the team to play. We talked about it in the summer. Hold the ball in the back, invite the pressure, and then build. That's exactly what this guy wants. Everything is so calculated. So when you get somebody like Darwin who wants things to be not calculated, it just doesn't work out. So like I said a few weeks ago, I think Simeone would love him. I think Napoli might love him. I think he's going to have other opportunities elsewhere. And he will be one of the best in the world when he gets in one of those systems that fit. But it's just not working out with us. And we move on. When we signed him from Benfica, he was one of the best prospects in the world. And then we just, in a way or another, kind of ruined the guy's career. we move on.
I don't know if that's on us. Gordo says club versus club is like free painting session versus color by number. That's a good analogy, actually. But I mean, my thing is he's probably better suited to play a bit more of an open game. He's not a guy that's going to be able to do anything against like a low block and stuff like that. But I mean, here's the thing: Benfica and Porto, like in Portugal, they're kind of, when they play teams, people are sitting back as well. But the quality of the players sitting back is not the same, Kazi.
And the goal he scored against Liverpool was a lot more off the left. And he was doing those crazy ass runs off the left. But Salah doesn't want to come down the middle. Salah wants to keep his width and isolate. So if you're going to the left, if you're playing centre mid, you're centre forward, you're going to the left, you need the right winger to come over. But if you're doing, you know what I mean? But Salah doesn't want to do that. Salah wants to keep the width, which I understand, by the way, because he's Mo Salah. So listen, it hasn't worked, and that's fine. By the way, chance it hasn't worked. I'd rather Liverpool not took the chance than not take the chance. I'd rather you take the chance. It's not like he hasn't never contributed. And I've been his biggest critic since he was like 6 weeks in. I wasn't having him, but I just think there's a part where Liverpool won't lose much money, if anything. Like, I think Liverpool are still selling for 50 million. I think we only paid 60. Everyone's going, it was 80 million. It was rising to 80 million. Like, if you won the Ballon d'Or, sorry.
You're getting 50 for him?
For his age and his profile, easier. Yeah.
50, 60, easy.
I think you get 50 million for him. I think you go to the Italian league and do
If he's 50, I'm getting 10.
By the way, I can't wait. I can't wait for all the fans when he goes to the Italian league, scores 30 goals and go, look, he could have done that for us.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do that for us. It just wasn't. It just hasn't worked. It hasn't not worked, and that's fine.
It's actually funny because Lukaku goes to United, absolute shit. Goes to Italy, best player in the world. Yep. Chelsea's like, wait a minute. We bring him back, absolute shit. Goes to Italy again, best player, Champions League final, doing everything.
That's what I'm saying. I just think it hasn't worked, and it's fine. By the way, transfers just don't work sometimes, and that's okay. I actually think if you sell him for 50 million, it hasn't been a success, but it also hasn't been a massive bust. If you sell him for 50 million, if you use him as a part of a mateway to get Kvaratskhelia, and Kvaratskhelia scores 30 goals next year, we all go, fucking hell, that wasn't too bad, was it, lads? Do you know what I mean? We swallowed that there.
Your trading value, like Nick says, I thought you were 24. No, I meant like, I wish I was 24. I was more like, if he's getting 50 million, I should be selling for, my selling fee should be like 10 million is what I was getting at. Because I don't think, maybe your trading value, like getting a new car on, or, you know, when they do you give them credit when they bring their old mattress back?
No.
Like, so like, instead of like selling him, maybe, I don't think we're selling him at 40, 50, but you might be able to do a deal where it's like, hey, why don't we give you guys Nunez and 40 instead of paying you 80 for this guy?
So I do want to say Nunez is not bad. It's just not working out with us, but this kid's still young. He still has that prospect of being one of the best. He's still got the talent. We know the raw talent's there. I mean, he plays for Uruguay, and this guy's like he's a god. So it's not like he's such a bad player. It's just not fitting in our system. And then if you actually go look at his transfer market profile, where they rank players and with their value today, 65 million. So it's not like we're going to sell him.
How much am I going for?
Hold on. So actually not bad. A bag of Doritos, and it's the spicy nacho too. So it's not the regular.
Oh, I'm moving that up, baby. I was just the regular one last week.
He's a cool
I think we can still get the money for him because the talent's there. This is a player that could end up, honest to God here, and I think we can all agree, this is a player that in a couple of years, he does his little stint in Napoli or whoever, he could end up in like a Barcelona. He could end up in a Real Madrid if they're looking for a striker. He could end up in an Atletico Madrid if they're looking for a player. So it's not like he's like Kazi said, it hasn't been a bust, especially if we get that 50, 60 million for him. He still has a career ahead of him. He's still young in today's football world. At 28, he could peak and be in Barcelona, whatever that may be.
I don't think it's like at that level in terms of what Anand's saying, but I know Anand's still his biggest fan. I just think he could go on and play for a top level football club. Maybe not the elite, but I'm talking like an athlete. I don't call Atletico a top level club. That's just my opinion. I think Real Madrid and Barca are a level above them. So I'm talking like an Atletico and Napoli and places like that, and look unbelievable. And then you get people going, fucking hell, we should have kept him. It hasn't worked.
Look, I mean, if we played against him right now, we would fucking hate him.
Yes,
right?
Of course. Yes. But we haven't got the temperament. He hasn't got the temperament to be a Liverpool player. That's the thing. That in Italy and you know, like an Atletico, and they'd love him. I love him because he's insane, and they all love that. Yeah. So
pretty sure Simeone gives him a bonus every time he gets a yellow.
But I'm saying, you know, I just think it hasn't worked. But I also can go back to Liverpool in this case and point again. I don't think Slot can be Arsenal. I just think, you know what, mate, you're more fucking hassle than what you give me. Do you know what I mean? Because if Liverpool chasing a goal and you don't bring Darwin on, the fans will go, you don't bring in Darwin on. So it's just like that. I don't want that option anymore. I don't want you here. I don't want that option. So I'd argue that if Jayden Dance goes out tomorrow and scores a couple, he might have a serious issue doing Darwin. So.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, do we almost want like a when we get like scoring a goal and you're throwing Nunez in there, it's not okay, he might get one. It's more like we're looking for a plot twist. Nunez scores the winner kind of a thing. It's not like a Jota coming in or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you hope that there's a goal coming with him, but it's more like you're looking for a plot twist, not like a realistic expectation like when he comes on. And I don't know, to me, you guys are a little too optimistic. I consider him a bust because I don't think we're getting 50 for him. I think
that's what I'm saying. I think it's depending on how much we get for him to come.
And I don't think we're getting that. I think you get 30, 40. Like I say, you might get in-store credits at Napoli, like a gift card to use towards this dude.
For a real football player.
Yeah.
And Nan's on mute anyway, so that's
Go
great.
buy something that you really like to slot, for
And Nan's
example.
actually talking sensible ones.
Hold on. If we use him for an $80 million deal and we get a $50-60 million credit, as you say,
You're
I'm
not
happy
getting
with
that.
that.
I think that's the only way you're getting 40 or something.
I
for him,
actually
is
think
for
we're
credit.
gonna get. I actually think we'll loan him maybe till the end of the season with an obligation to buy, and
Same.
then get like the 45-ish, 50.
Same.
So
I don't-
So are you guys paying 80 for this kid? I guess that's the
Absolutely.
bottom line.
absolutely.
And Nan's
As
very
things
excited.
are. As things are.
You could have brought up any player there, and I would have said yes because it was 80 million quid. Didn't care who the player
Me?
was.
Absolutely. No, so I was funny enough, I was fully against paying for Allison. Don't want to talk about it. But I would pay for this guy. This is a guy I've been such a big fan of. Such a big fan. He reminds me
that
of
doesn't really sound like a good endorsement for the rest of us.
a traditional winger of what wingers used to be in the early 2000s. And that's something we've been lacking. We had that in Diaz initially, and then after his injury, he lost that. So give me
He's
a traditional
strong
winger.
enough.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of Serie A. So I mostly know him from, just like Champions League and stuff like that. And obviously, in the World Cup. Is he strong enough to be in the Premier League? I mean, like, I'm not talking about, Mo is not the biggest dude, but he's strong enough.
So
Is
it's
he
funny.
strong enough?
Strength-wise, you look at him, he's a lanky kid. Not really. Doesn't look like it. But when he holds the ball, the way he protects the ball, unbelievable.
No.
If you watch his goals, a lot of his goals are him bodying people out of his way, cutting and shooting. I mean, very talented kid. And I like those. I don't know if you get, Albert Riera kind of thing, where he holds the ball, he runs as wide as he can, and then cuts in and crosses. This is the kind of kid that we got on his hands. And I don't know if we'll get him, but I'd love to.
I think he's a bit more direct. I think he's a weird player. Because I think didn't he have a big injury last year?
Yeah. He missed a lot of last season
as well.
Yeah.
He missed a lot last year. So, listen.
So where are you putting this, Kazi? Put the needle.
I think
I can't believe I have to bring this shit out again. God damn it, it's January.
I think this could happen. High end, it could happen very likely. And I just think Liverpool have a diddle going on with Diaz. I don't think it's all about Kvaratskhelia. I don't think Diaz's numbers are there. I don't think if you're Edwards and Hughes and you're very stats based, I think they'd look like I can go, those numbers are lying to us a little bit in terms of what he's got now. He wants to go to Barcelona. He's 27. We don't see him getting any better. He's on 60k a week. He's asking for 160k a week, which he probably deserves, but he's not on that. We're not going to give it to him. He has 2 years left. We have to pull the trigger on Diaz this summer and get him off now. So you may as well commit to someone else. And if it's Kvaratskhelia, it's Kvaratskhelia. Tell you right now, though, mate, his directness is massive, I think. He's so direct. But the difference is he has an end product, which is nice.
Where are you putting it over here, Anan?
I'm going to say very likely because of the sources that already mentioned it, not because of anything else.
Ornstein, I know. Ornstein's the one.
Yeah, but it was more like we're
Ornstein
interested if there is value. Does that mean how much in-store credit we get for Nunez or what we work out with Nunez?
I don't think he would have mentioned it. It's more embarrassing to the club for a big journalist like Ornstein or Joyce to mention it for not the deal to not go through.
Yeah, that's the only reason I put it on the green or the very likely whatever the green is because of the names that brought it up. And out of nowhere too. And then because Fabrizio likes to Fabrizio it, he breaking news. I got the news. So because everybody, the way it's set up, I think it's more likely than anything else that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks.
The one thing we should mention as well on Fabrizio, and I'm not his biggest fan at all, he did call the Chiesa news before everyone else because he has inside sources inside Italy. So if he's mentioning it as well, then maybe.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, the Italian thing is a good point. Can he play on the right?
No, no.
He's done it.
But
just wouldn't put him there.
Not for Liverpool. This is the difference. It's not to Liverpool.
Yeah.
This is what, again, I don't want to mention the big C word, but that's why the Salah contracts is kind of like.
Oh, I was like, I don't know where the C word was going. Go ahead.
No, the contract word. It's you know what I mean. But it's important because you know what you're getting. Transfers are not always successful. We've just seen that with Darwin, where Salah's your proven man. You know what you're getting from Mo Salah. So that's where he has all the power, Salah, to go, well, I want this because you know what you're getting out of me. If you want to go and try and get my replacement and he's not as good as me, then you're fucked for 5 years. you crack on. Do you know what I mean? And that's where the strong point comes again. So.
Does a move like this help a guy like Mose or Van Dijk and stuff in terms of seeing like, oh, you guys mean this shit?
Yeah, especially listen, because I tell you right now, if you're Kvaratskhelia, do you know what the first thing that like Liverpool players are doing? They're asking Trent and go, what was he like to mark when you got whacked there a few times? When you played Napoli a few times, and they go, "Fuck me, he was hard, you know. He was fucking, he's good, you know." Like, football players know each other as well. They probably know each other's agents and all that. They know each other, but they also ask teammates, "What's he like?" And you go, "Fucking, he's unbelievable." Do you know what I mean? Like, there's that argument as well. So, yes, because you want to see that though. You want to see that Liverpool are improving and are kind of signing football players. I know people don't like to say that, but you need to sign football players to improve and show that you've got this kind of hunger and desire to keep going. So. Yeah,
this is crazy. I mean, looking at him, this is a guy Napoli signed for 13 million pounds, and today he is ranked as one of the top 5 most valuable wingers in the world at 85 million.
Napoli is good with that shit. They signed Kim for like 15, sold him for 50 and stuff like that. It's a good, and I think for players, they know that it's a good bouncing point. Like, so you're not gonna get stuck there forever. You can go there, you know, increase your value, get exposure, and get out. I think that's important for players up and coming because it's better than to go to a top team right away and get lost in the mix and not play. Whereas you can go to a team like Napoli who's willing to, it's kind of like Brighton in the Premier League. Like, they're going to sell you eventually if you do well. So you're not locked there forever. So it's like a good bouncing point. But so I assume, I don't know who that is, but speaking on behalf of all of us as American scouts are over here, I assume this is probably John or Gally or somebody like that.
That's Gally.
That's Gally when he says, "Oh, and he won't be here." Yeah, that's Gally. I don't see John saying that. Okay, tomorrow's game. Realistically, I think I was asking this in the post-match to Brian and Sir Z. I'll ask you on out of the players who started the last game against Spurs, how many of them starts against Accrington?
Not many. Not many.
Well, obviously, I was asking for a number. I know not many, but
let's see. I gotta go through the. Let's see.
Let's go through the
lineup. Yeah, while you're looking at that, I did a starting 11 yesterday on the Thursday show. Do you want me to tell you my starting 11 that I would do?
Yeah.
I will put
no cheating, damn it.
Kelleher in goal.
Go ahead. Give me the 11.
Bradley right back.
Okay.
Diallo centre half with Gerald Kwanzaa because he's now been confirmed fit. I did have Konate because Kwanzaa and Konate, I've got a little 45-minute diddle happening. You're going to have to share the load. Kostas. And then I would midfield, I would do Endo, Elliott, and Nioni. And up front, I would have Chiesa, I would have Nunes on the left, and I would have Dans down the middle.
Fair. Yeah.
You had who on the left? I'm sorry?
I would have Nunes on the left.
And then who's in the middle? Dan's in the middle?
Jaden Dan's up front.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be my choices.
The only thing I don't like is the midfield there. I don't like Elliott and Nioni at the same time.
Against Accrington Stanley, who were a point off relegation from the Football League.
No, I hear you that, but I mean, in terms of, you know, giving a fair shot to the kids as well.
We saw a good display from Tyler Morton a couple of weeks ago.
He's frozen.
Wait, you guys are frozen.
Oh, it's me?
Yeah, you're frozen. I thought you were talking about Morton. I'm like, how's he frozen? Like,
I was like, did the kid die? Like, wait, what?
I think Morton's injured.
Oh, he's injured.
Oh, okay.
I think he rolled his ankle. Someone said, I think so. I'm not sure if he's fit. So that's fine.
Yeah. I see Chiesa on the right. I could see Nunez on the left. Dan's definitely in the middle. Nioni, I love the kid. I think he should, get the minutes. Elliott, a lot of talk about Elliott being sold. Well, not being sold, but clubs interested in him. We should talk about that. So, yeah, I'm totally cool with that lineup that Kazi suggested. I think it needs to have every single player and, you know, our youth that's been making the bench or that's been training with the first team should be getting minutes. I'm not being disrespectful, but it's Accrington Stanley. That's all I can say. So if these kids can't go out there and put a display, we have
a problem. Putting Nioni like almost like a defensive midfielder?
No, I'd play two. I'd have Endo as well.
He had Endo in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd have Endo 6. Yeah, I'd have
almost you're playing like a 4-1-2-3 kind of an audio kind. Okay.
Yeah.
Real kid. I mean, I'm assuming like these guys will get some like minutes off the bench as well. So let's talk about that real quick. Got to play Elliott. Teams are sniffing around due to his lack of minutes. I mean, here's the thing. I know he played a lot better when he came to the middle. I was saying it in Discord, and then Slot was saying it in the post match that he was getting bored on the wing because he's not a wing player, so he has to be in the middle. Having said that, Anan, without your new boy, Szoboszlai being in there, we can kind of see like a huge gap, and he's definitely not a Szoboszlai type player.
Nobody is.
Does he fit in this system?
Let's start by saying,
Mr. Amarim, does Elliot fit in the system?
Well, because you ask. No, so the thing, nobody's gonna give you what Szoboszlai does. You know, he misses 2 games, we don't win 2 games. It's not a coincidence, but I'm not going there. No, it's different. And you know, Elliot wants to be in that position. Elliot really wants to be in that going forward number 10 position. And to be very fair to the kid, every time he's come on, he's done something. He looks good. He's passing well. He's creating chances. So it's actually kind of sad to see Elliot not getting minutes. But the question is, who do you put him ahead of? McAllister is arguably one of our players of the season. Szoboszlai is giving you all that press that's available in the team. I mean, he's our best presser right now off the ball. And then you need your holding midfielder. You're not going to take out Gravenberg. So who does he play ahead of? That's really the question. So it's a difficult situation.
To me, the question is, who does he come in for? Like, if you were bringing him off the bench, apart from Szoboszlai, he's not coming in for anybody.
Well, I like the healthy competition between Szoboszlai and Jones. Obviously, they're miles ahead of each other. One guy is just world class. The other one is getting just getting minutes. But I would still have Jones to be the guy that comes in for Szoboszlai whenever we make that change, because yes, he has a bad game every 3 or 4 games, but who doesn't? But when you get Jones in there, the kid he's building confidence so much that I now trust him in that midfield. I trust him in the ball. I want to see him go forward, and I like to see him coming back in defense. So it's a tough one. The only person he comes in for is McAllister, but McAllister should be playing 90 minutes every game that he can.
How about you, Kazi? Does he fit?
Yes, but he also needs a chance to fit. Like, he hasn't had a chance to fit into this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If he was healthy and was regular, because obviously the preseason, the early season injury hurts, but in the past, what I liked about Elliot is he could come in and he knew what Klopp wanted, and he would move the ball around, and he did things that fit tactically that people were not doing. That obviously plus is no longer there. So when he comes in, do you see him as, man, if he was healthy all along, he's the guy we need?
No, but I also see it as a kid needs a chance in the role when you've been playing well and you've got all the ability in the world. I think you need he's not a Szoboszlai. Liverpool only have one Szoboszlai in terms of his running ability off the ball. It's ridiculous how much we need him just for off the ball alone. Never mind on the ball. But we're in a weird one with Elliot Maitland, but I do think he deserves it on the games. I can't believe he hasn't started in there. I think that's a game. I thought the Spurs game was a game too far for McAllister. I thought it was a game too far for Gravenberch against the Spurs, and you could have done Elliot. You could have put Jones deeper. You could have rested one or the other in terms of McAllister and stuff. He deserves a moment. Of course, Accrington Stanley is a game that he's going to play. He has to start the 2 Champions League games. I don't even want to have this conversation. We still needed the point. You can trust Harvey Elliott to play in a football match for Liverpool. This is my conversation I've had in Discord.
Yeah, I mean, you're not putting a 12-year-old out there. It's freaking like
it's Harvey Elliott who scores goals, can contribute. He can start a game. I've had this argument this week. The manager is worrying me in terms of his lack of rotation. He's really starting to worry me now. It's his first season in the league. He's going to make mistakes, and we all should cop for that because he has to figure this out on his own. But this lack of rotation is going to really affect cost Liverpool down the road. I tell you now, right, the McAllister one I'm worried about. Gravenberch has barely kicked the football in 2 years, and now we're dead without him going for 4 trophies.
Yeah.
You can't trust Endo, McAllister, and Szoboszlai in a midfield 3 in a Premier League game to give Gravenberch a week off. I just think that's incredibly harsh. You know what I mean? On Gravenberch, on Endo. And I think the manager, he's going to figure it out, because he will figure it out. It takes time to figure it. I was making a conversation this week about Bisesic, bringing him back from loan and having him in your squad. You don't need to sign a footy player then. If you don't want to do Zubimendi now, or you can't do that type of level of player, There's a player there who's shown he can play for Liverpool. Okay, not in your system, I will argue, and he needed the minutes at Salzburg. I argue that, no problem. He's 20 years of age. Why can't he come in and go, listen, we're in all 4 trophies, fella. You haven't got a fucking choice. You're going to play minutes here at Liverpool. And then you could do McAllister as an 8 in a game and do Gravenberch and Bisesic if Szoboszlai's out again. And you've got that other option. I just feel like it's incredibly naive of Liverpool to have a player of that ability to him on loan playing for another club when you're struggling in centre midfield. I just feel that's a bit. And by the way, Bisesic has done bits at centre half as well. So we can do your 10 minutes of centre half here and there. If you don't want to do a centre half right now, I think we all agree here that we probably should do a centre half at this window. But if you're not going to get a player who can do 10 minutes here and there, a centre half here, well, he's there on loan. Get a player who can do 10 minutes centre mid for you. Well, he's there on loan. I just find it incredibly naive of Liverpool if you're going to continue this window and not.
The only issue is you bring Bisesic back, Anand, and you're probably just. I mean, the number of games he's going to play, you're pretty much bringing him for the Champions League games and some FA Cup games. Obviously, we're at the end of the EFL Cup. He's not going to get minutes there. And then he's going to be on the shelf because it goes back to, what Gally's saying. Does the manager trust him? I think, the guys that you don't fully trust, there are games you can throw them in there, like the Champions League and stuff like that. But those games are going to come to an end.
Let me say this. Do you guys think, just yes or no, so I can get to my point quick, so I can be out as soon as we finish, because I have to run another call. Do you think the manager trusts Kwanzaa?
No.
But he's getting minutes, right? Because we need him. Kazi said it best the other day, and I actually used that in 2 more podcasts. Would you rather him get minutes in a championship level team, or in this case in Salzburg, or get his minutes at Liverpool Football Club to build him as a player so he can be thrown out there and try it? You're
getting 600 minutes at the championship level, and basically
he's actually not getting much minutes at Salzburg. Ever since Pep is gone, he's not playing football.
Yeah. So no. And I get your point, and you're right though. I get your point. What you're saying in terms of the minutes played. Well, we're one Gravenberch injury away, fella, from starting fucking games. That's what we're at. Let's get this right. We're one McAllister injury away from him getting more minutes than you would like. So we haven't got the options.
And it's crazy because a lot of people, like, you just said, so I was on an Arabic Liverpool podcast a couple of days ago, and they were like, yeah, but you bring back Bajcetic, he's not going to play as much as he's playing in Salzburg. I'm like, what are you talking about? Ever since Pep, 2 weeks before Pep left, Bajcetic has seen a couple of minutes here and there.
So let me ask you this, though. Did we pick Morton over Bajcetic, or Pep was willing to loan him? That's why he was loaned.
I think it was needs most on the minutes for Bajcetic. I think they rate him.
Okay.
I actually think the club rate him. Like, I don't know if the manager does, because the manager hasn't seen enough of him to rate
he was coming off of the injury and stuff too. So.
Exactly. So I think he was like, just go there and get minutes. Go and be the best player. It's a bit like when you go on loan from Liverpool, you got to go and be the best player somewhere. Harvey Elliott was the best player at Blackburn. Conor Bradley was the best player at Bolton. You got to go and be the best player. Then come, you know what I mean? Okay, it hasn't worked. But right now, Liverpool again, we are one Szoboszlai injury from all this falling apart. We don't win games without us running. We are one Gravenberch injury away from playing McAllister and Endo to try and win the league.
You guys do realize it's crazy, but we were another yellow for Gravenberch away from having both Szoboszlai and Gravenberch out. They're both on a yellow.
We just played an hour with Toro Endo in the semi-final of a trophy centre half. That's what has just happened. Like literally a couple of days ago. What are we doing? There's a player there. You don't need to sign a player. I'm not asking Liverpool to go out. And you know me, Tim, I love a signing. And if I can get on the owner's back, fella, for signings, I would. But there's a player there who can just do the job for you. And he's on loan. He's your player. Just go, you're coming back. It's ours. And you're saying...
Yeah, but if you sent him over, that's what I'm saying, though. If you sent him over at the beginning of the season, because you said, hey, he needs minutes. He needs to play regularly and get minutes. And you're bringing him over, and he's not going to get regular minutes. That's the thing. You're better off than actually getting a guy.
Okay. So is it a part, though, Tim, to go, you're in 4 trophies, so he is going to play minutes in some games. I know what you're saying with the EFL Cup, I argue that. But he is, all right, then he's in 3 trophies, so he's definitely going to get minutes. Number 2, wouldn't you rather have him training for 2 months in case Gravenberch goes down for the season? And you go, right, you're ready to fit into this system now.
But is he ready to fit into the system? That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't know, but I'm assuming if you let him go, we know.
I think
Well,
you've
we didn't let him
60 minutes.
go. We didn't let him go. We said, go out there, get your development so
Yeah,
you can come
'cause
back
you're not
next
ready.
season. Because we were going to sign Zubamendi, so we had a whole plan going on.
Yeah, Tim, genuinely, right. Let's just say Gravenberch, touch what he doesn't, goes down injured, is out for the year now, right? We are Endo, McAllister, Jones, and Szoboszlai. That's it for midfield. And Elliott, you could argue, that's it. We genuinely out of Endo, Jones, and McAllister, 2 of them can play the 6 role.
That's what I'm saying. Though. Like you have Morton, for example. Do they trust Morton more and feel like he's more ready than Bajcetic, and they send Bajcetic for minutes?
I think they were going to sell Morton towards the end of the window. I think someone's going to come in and buy Morton for 15 million.
People were sniffing around for him because he had a good season with Hull.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah. I think that's what they were thinking, and it hasn't come. I hope we don't have a Nat Phillips what we had with Morton. I hope they just bite the bullet. I think Morton will go before the end of this window. I think Morton's out the door.
Do we feel? I mean, I guess here's my thing. I mean, I'm not arguing that we probably need another body in there in the rotation. I'm just not feeling comfortable that body being Bajcetic. To me,
that's fair.
Comfort-wise, it's not a whole lot different than having Morton
strange
in that
because
rotation.
2 years ago, we were the most comfortable if Bajcetic was
yeah, good point. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, we're playing a different system.
Yeah, he was brilliant. But the one thing you could say about Bajcetic is though he's played top-level Premier League football, and Morton hasn't.
Yeah, he has that experience. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? As a kid at 19 years of age, he's played top level and played well, top level Premier League football. I just think it's mad that you got a lad where you kind of short on centre half, you kind of short on centre mid, and he's on loan at another club, and he's literally played high end level Premier League football for Liverpool. I just find that insane. But hopefully, listen, Liverpool might not have a choice. By the way, we are one centre half away from not having a choice in this matter. Like,
yeah.
You know,
that's the bigger issue. I think that's what I mean. The other one was the bigger issue, but it does say early February for Gomez. The fact that Kwanzaa, but you know, it can happen again this game, and you lose Kwanzaa.
And then you could also take Gomez 6 weeks to get going.
Yes,
because it's an injury.
It's a hammy too, so it's not a hammy.
You don't want to ease him in. Then he's not ready till mid-March. And by the way, mid-March you're in the fucking shit of it. And we're playing quarterfinals of Champions Leagues, and that's your first game back. I just feel like I think Liverpool will pull him back. By the way, I think Liverpool will pull him back for the end of the window. Bajcetic. I really do think they will. I think there's got to be coaches there, or even Edwards and Hughes, to talk to the manager and go, this kid can just help us out here a bit. I really do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they sign somebody first of all. But let's head out with some oddball predictions. What kind of a crazy game we're expecting in the crack of dawn tomorrow? By the way, but yeah, what do you expect to see, Anand? Give me a score.
Expect to see a bunch of kids going out there and trying to show why they should be playing regular football. So I'll be happy with anything. 3-0.
Yeah, I don't care. But I will say 3-0 because I don't know what the team is. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be on the back page of the paper. I don't want to be on the front page of the paper. No, because even if it's a tight one, I just want a standard nice run of the mill. I don't care, but I just don't lose the game.
Yeah, I see the 3-0. It's almost like not take it out on them either and go over there and maybe practice some possession and stuff like that in the second half. But how about you literally just had a game exactly the same way yesterday where they played against this team playing their U19s, scored in the second minutes, scored 3, just chilled. And that's what I kind of like expecting to see tomorrow morning. But
and then Mourinho gave them a team talk after the end of the game, and he told them that they did a really, I don't know if you guys saw that or not. He brought the away team and he's like, well done, kids.
Yeah.
You got this. You have a future. It was the nicest thing this crazy man has ever done.
Yeah, he's like very about, and I, listen to him talk. And if you watched him in the past with when he was in Spurs in a documentary and stuff like that, I don't know. I've always had a soft spot for Mourinho. He's not likable.
He's turned into like a lovable granddad, hasn't he? He's
just yes, it's so annoying. It's so annoying.
He's turned into like this cool uncle, and he's like fucking hell out. He's just mad.
Posting on Instagram
some like off the cuff stuff. You're like,
his Instagram posts, going to eat pizza. I love pizza. Like, what is this?
I love him, man. I honestly, I've started to develop a soft spot. But if he goes to Everton, I'm going to have to hate him again. So please go to Everton so I can hate you again.
But hey, thanks to all those joining us today. Give us a like, subscribe, spread the word, and we'll see you guys tomorrow after the match. Take care.